What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I know I haven't posted a video in a while. I've been super busy between working and trying to enjoy the tail end of the summer. You know, we try to do a decent amount of traveling during the summer, even between working, so that we can, you know, not just be sitting at home working all the time. And then, you know, September rolls around and we didn't do anything for the summer. So between traveling, working, I've just been super busy. And I've been just focusing on work, so I haven't been able to put a new video up lately. But I'm pretty much going to be home now and not travel much now, probably until winter time. So now time to really buckle down, just kind of reset, get a little more organized, and just prepare for the next few months, I guess, of work between projects and a couple other things I have coming down the pipeline that I'm going to put out, and I don't want to reveal too much about it, but just some things that are changing with the business and some exciting things that are going on too. So today's video, what you're going to see is a deck that I did, and we just ran into a lot of issues with it, and it's not really a step-by-step video because I didn't have the time to really do that because I had to just get this done. I knew it was going to take longer than I thought. It took definitely longer than I thought, about a week's worth of extra work. But I wanted to make sure it was right. And it was hot. It was like 95 degrees every single day for 2 weeks straight. And it just, after a while, it just wears on you. But I just had to make sure some things that I did with the frame, because we reused the frame that was already there, which I probably would never do that again. But we had to make sure that it was perfectly flat in order to lay the composite decking down. So we had some issues with that. We had some areas that were unstable that we had to repair. So it's just a multitude of things. Material sourcing was a whole nother issue. But anyways, we got it done. So it's just like a quick daily update of the start of the project, throughout it, and then the end. Not too crazy of a video, nothing like step by step. This is exactly how I did it from start to finish, but just kind of the way this project went and how long it took. So don't forget, guys, give me that thumbs up, hit that bell for notifications, subscribe to my channel, and if you got any questions, comments, drop them in the comment section below. And hopefully you enjoy the video. Okay, this is a deck project that I'm working on. This came from a referral from another, one of my friends actually, and we're using the existing frame, and it has not been easy, trust me. We've done a lot of adding joists here because the joists were bad. We've added extra blocking here. We put some crippling here because there's a really bad failure point right there. And then this was wobbly here, so we put some bracing there. So we're doing the best we can with what we have to work with. The customer could not afford a full new frame. And honestly though, after doing this now, I don't know if I'm ever gonna do this again with an existing frame. I might just not take on any jobs unless it's a new frame, because it's just becoming too much of a headache. Also too, see this right here, this is sagging down right here, so now we got to go in and dig 2 holes and add a beam there to lift this up so that doesn't sag anymore. And then on the other side they had a little weird kick out here, so that we just took out. We're going to cut that off. We got to add a pier and a beam back there. So this has definitely not been easy. I don't do decks all the time, but the last one I did went so smooth because it was a new tear off. This is trying to use an existing frame, and I think I made a mistake. I'm sure they're not all as hard, but this one is, to get it straight, flat. Don't get me wrong, this thing is not as level as it should be, but I'm getting it as flat as possible so the decking looks good on the frame. There's some spots that you could try to level it, but you're just going to be fighting yourself so much back and forth that it's just not worth it. I mean, you'll be just going in circles. So we're going to get it as flat as possible, as strong as possible, so that the decking looks good. And that's what we're working with. But I didn't do the first day, was the tear off. So I didn't get a video of me tearing it off. No big deal there. Just tearing off the old decking, the old railings, which we cut. And here's where we're at today. And we'll move on to the next day. All right, guys, welcome back to the deck job. So I did a short clip for the first day of the demo, and I haven't done any video since. It's just been a long process, longer than I thought it would be, because I've done composite decks before, but this is the first time I had to do it where we tried to save the existing frame and then repair the spots where we could, and it ended up being a nightmare. I lost probably, I bet you 3 days from it. On top of that, and then getting every single day we were working with rain. It's just, you're trying to battle the rain, everything is getting soaked, and you can't do anything in the rain. So I lost a lot of time because of the rain, and then all the framework that needed to be done. And I just wanted to keep working, so that's why I haven't done like a daily clip at the end of the day. But what I'm going to do is I'll flip the camera around and I'll show you how far we've gotten and what we've done so far. Okay, so this is how far I've gotten, and so far I've sunk about 45 hours into this. This is a 12 by 26 deck, and the main issue that we were having was, you know, some of the joists were higher, some of on this end were lower, so we had to shim up some joists, we had to plane some joists down, because when you put this decking down, if it's not perfectly flat, the surface, you're gonna see it. So when you go to put your clips in, you're gonna see the boards are gonna do this. So we just didn't have a choice. It had to be completely flat before we put any decking down. So this is how far we've gotten. Like I said, we did a lot of work to the frame. When you're doing a picture frame board like we are, you have to add in blocking there, add in blocking in the middle. Some of these joists were so bad that we replaced them. We had a lot of high spots here that had to be reworked. The stairs that we thought we could save them, those got torn off, and I got new stringers for those. Underneath here, I can't really show you, but you can kind of see the post. See, so we added a beam here because this side of the deck was doing this and sagging. This side was okay, but for some reason, whoever built this frame put a beam further away on this end and closer on this side. So I'm like, can't leave it like that. So added a beam here. We added some crippling here where there was points where they bolted in, but they don't have a post on this side of the beam running this way, only this way, so that if it fails, it's going to fail on that crippling. And that's really about it as far as the framework. It just took a while. Bottom line, see the blocking here. So one mistake I made here was I should have taken this joist out and just blocked across. Instead, what I did was I blocked here, then I realized, oh, that's not going to be enough. Then had to block on this side based on where this deck was going to fall and where the picture frame border was going to fall. So that took a little bit longer, but we're getting there. So I wanted to give you guys a quick update. We're going to keep plugging away today, and I'll try to do a video at the end of the day today to show you how far we've gotten. Right now I'm going to work on the picture frame, and then after that I'm going to work on the stairs. Okay, a little midday update. I got this board down and this board down. I've only been working for about 3 hours, but the hardest part is this, getting this just right to lead into this piece and have enough overhang so that the fascia doesn't come up on this side of the decking boards. But we're getting there. I just cut this real quick. I'm gonna eat lunch, but it looks good so far. So this is decorators decking, and they recommend a 1/8 inch gap depending on the temperature outside. So today it's going to be about 84, so that's a 1/8 gap. So that's what I'm going to do all the way around. It's 26 feet long, so I had to put a seam in here. That seam could have been a 1/16 bigger, but I think what happened was when I went to screw this down, it shifted on me just a little bit. So but we're getting there. All right, I'll give you guys another update from yesterday. Here's how far I got. I got just about finished with the whole picture frame. This took a little while longer, getting the angles right, the gaps right, and making sure that looked pretty close to perfect. And I think it looks pretty damn good. So I got pretty far. I just got this little bit here and here. That was about 6 hours, 5.5 hours of work. My daughter had soccer, so I had to get out of here, but that's how far we got. So today we're gonna finish that up, and once we finish that up, we'll start laying out posts. We got them all laid out and marked already, but we'll start installing posts and putting some railings up. And I'm also gonna work on the stairs today. I got the stringers already cut. Another thing I wanted to show you guys is my setup. Some guys want to know everybody's setup, so here's my setup. Miter saw, air compressor for a little bit of blocking we still have left to do, and then all my tools. That's pretty much everything to do a deck is in there. Track saw, all my cutoff tools, which those bags are going away at some point because they're just horrible. I don't like it. If it starts raining, everything's getting soaked. So those are all like cutoff tools: grinder, sawzall, jigsaw, multi-tool, framer, track saw, circular saw. That bag there has all cordless drills and drivers. Planer in case we need it, which we should be done with that. All my cordless batteries going there. My tool belt. So it really, it's not a lot of tools, honestly. So you don't need a ton of tools to build decks, but to get really good and intricate and get really good straight cuts, like I cut that with a track saw, and that's just, I mean, I don't even know what to say about a track saw other than if you don't have one, you got to get one because it just makes perfect cuts. So all right guys, made it to the end of the day, and I'll turn the camera around. I'll show you how far we got and one thing that held us up. So we got all the picture frame border on, as you can see, and then we started putting up all the railings. So we made it to that point there. Really the only thing that held us up today was we got this board all down, this end of this picture frame. Thankfully we didn't put the plugs in there yet, but we got it all the way down. We're ready to start the railings. Put one post in, and there was damage to the edge of that board that we didn't see. So I wasn't just gonna cut it and put a seam in there. We pulled that board out. I had an extra one, put another one in there, so that held us back a little bit, but other than that, we're getting there. It's looking good. All right guys, I'm gonna get out of here. All right, we're back another day. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna finish all the railing sections, except for this one, because I need more of these brackets. So when you have a weird angle like this, you need this bracket kit, and I have 2 kits, but just not enough. I need double that because of where the 22s fall, which is on this end, 4 there, same thing on that side. So we're gonna get everything up except that corner because I need to wait for those, which will be coming tomorrow. So that's what we're working on. We got our angle figured out, and what we did was we just turned the post. Instead of keeping it straight, we turned it, and then we'll cut a 22 on this end, a 90 on that end, 22s, and 90s going that way. Okay, end of another day. Didn't get quite as far as I wanted to get, only because, go around this bush here and I'll show you guys. So I ran out of the 22.5 inch brackets for those. I needed 16 of them. I only ordered 8 of them because I miscounted. So 1, 2, 3 sections. Really wanted to get this totally finished today, but I didn't. So we're almost there. I'm gonna have those brackets tomorrow morning. We did get this all tore up, so this will get decked tomorrow. And I should be able to get these 3 railing sections on, and I'd like to get the stairs at least assembled. But in the meantime, progress. First part of the morning was a little frustrating because we were trying to work on that side of the railing, getting the angle just right because it wasn't exactly 22.5, so that took a little while. And with these impression railings, if you have a little bit of binding here, you know, there's no give. If it's touching this post, you can't snap it in all the way. You have to fix it. So, but that's how far we got. It's coming along. It's looking good. All right guys, we're back for another day on the deck job. But yesterday I talked about how far we got, and we got the last little bit of landing of decking tore off, so we could, my plan was to redeck all that today so they could walk on it. But this is the reason why it's very, very important that you communicate to your customers from the beginning. You let them know what's going on before and when you get into something. If I wouldn't have done this, who knows what would have happened. So I'm gonna turn the camera around and I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, here's the landing. We tore this off yesterday. Now, see this right here? This is all completely rotted. Now, I couldn't see much before when I looked at the job because obviously the decking was on and you couldn't really tell. But I noticed where this T111 siding is going from here all the way to the other side and then down to about there. I could tell there was rot starting. So I immediately let them know, explained to them what potentially could be wrong and worst case scenario. Okay, and of course it's worst case scenario. They got carpenter ants. This joist that's holding up this sun porch is rotted. All the siding is rotted. This flashing did not do its job, and that's exactly why this whole part of this deck is sagging like this, because it's all rotted under there and the lag bolts are not holding anymore, so it's doing this. I let them know about it this morning once I got here, told them exactly what's going on, what needs to be repaired, and that's the only way to fix it. I said another option, we could try to put a couple steps down and then put a concrete pad and then a step up to it. They didn't want to do that. But this is why it's so important that you explain that to your customers, because if you don't, guess what? They're going to get pissed off at you because you didn't explain that beforehand, and then now you're coming back after almost being done on the project and being like, oh my God, we got to repair this, it's going to cost this much more money, versus you told them that up front, you explain to them probably what's going to be wrong and a couple of options in order to repair it or change the scope of the job, etc., etc. You can only do so much planning too. Some things happen and you just can't plan for them. But if you think about it beforehand, if you plan right, you think about it beforehand and just communicate, let them know what's going to go on or what might be wrong, that pretty much takes the liability off of you that you didn't tell them up front. And then if you tear it all off and there's no problems, great, just a bonus. But if there is problems, this way they knew about it ahead of time. So instead, now I'm going to work on these stairs instead for today, and then I'm still waiting for the brackets to come in for the railing, so that's what we're going to work on. But that's a little update. These are good to go, just got to fill the holes with plugs, and then I got those today too, but I just ran out of time. It's about 95 degrees outside and it's 3:30. I'm done, but we're getting there slowly but surely. I know it seems like it's taking forever, but it feels like it is, but we make progress every day. All right, we're back at it, another day. I got 2 more days on this job, and then I got to get out of here. I have to move on to the next thing. I got a bunch of projects that I've been waiting forever. This deck is taking longer than I thought. We had the unknown rot over here. It's going to be dealt with, but I've got 2 days. I got to get the fascia put on, those 2 posts, those 2 railings, and those 3 sections of railing. All right, end of the day. I didn't get quite as far as I wanted to. I've been saying that since I started this project. It's just been one hang up after another. So they sent me 2 8-foot level railing sections, and they were supposed to be 2 8-foot stair sections, so I couldn't put those railings on today. I gotta go get them tomorrow. But it was my own fault. I probably should have checked ahead of time, but I waited till it's time to install them. All the railings are done now. We're gonna finish tomorrow, 1 piece of fascia up. So tomorrow we'll put the railings on. The rest of the fascia, both the gate kits will be done. But at any rate, I know I've been saying, guys, didn't get quite as far as you wanted to, but it's just for somebody that I don't do decks every single day, it's a slow process because I want to make it right. So. All right, the end of another day. Oh man, when it's 95 out, man, you just run out of energy fast. And it's 4:30, I gotta quit. I wanted to keep going, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of fascia, and we're done. I got everything else done. The stairs done today, the gate kit's done today, and I was in between my daughter having soccer too, so not too bad. But 1 more day and we are done. That should probably take me 3 hours, I bet, at most. So I'm getting out of here. We'll see you at the end. All right, guys, that's the end. So we're all done. I got the fascia all up, and got the fascia on the stairs. So what you do with that is, when you do the fascia like this and not a picture frame, you get that little bit hanging over. But if you just paint the same color, you won't see it. So looks good, guys. We're all done, wrapped up, and we'll move on to the other part, like I said. And as soon as I got the time to do it, I got to get out of here for a few weeks. I got some other jobs to wrap up, and then we'll be back with that. So on to the next one.